What's going on? Well, imagine this. On the GSXR 750, guys, y'all know how much I love this bike. And recently I had put together a video, another ride-along video, where I'm chatting about the leader class bikes though, and how I felt like they were a bit misunderstood maybe in a certain way. And that is that, well, those bikes are just so easy to ride, torque on demand. I feel like they're misunderstood. They're made out to be a monster where they're really not. They're very easy to ride. A lot of folks would say that the middleweight would be the best step up if you've started out with a smaller bike and you wanted to get into a more dedicated sport bike. Maybe this should be the next step. And well, I wanted to talk about how the 750, and really any other middleweight, but primarily the GSXR 750, how it compares to leader bikes. So let's get this thing on the road and chat about it. Oh my goodness, even with the stock exhaust, it still sounds so good. That intake howl is so awesome with this bike. So one thing straight away that I want to I've got to bring up is just how much more flickable the 750 is than its leader bike bigger brothers. For a lot of folks that really may not be super into power, that may be enough of a reason right there. But she does have plenty of power though. I don't want to talk over this soundtrack. Oh, let's get her slowed down so I can talk and you can hear me. Okay, so straight away, if you're riding a GSXR 750 or any of the super middleweights, but again, mainly the 750, you're riding a proper rocket, my friend. And it's crazy to think that you would even want more power than this bike can deliver. But there is such a big difference between the leader class bikes and a bike like the GSXR 750 that you honestly can have both bikes in the garage and you've got two completely different ways of going about kind of the same thing. The 750 does not offer up that same mid-throttle turn hit that the leader class bikes will, not in sixth. And that's where the fun really begins with the 750, because you're just a downshift away. And she becomes a lot more lively. And I mean, what a fun bike to ride. And especially not only in throttle response, but in how easily this bike will transition. The 750 is shorter, both in height and in length. And so the weight itself is more centralized. So the effect that you get from being on this bike compared to a leader class bike is that the bike is overall smaller and is easier to tip into corners. Part of that also has to do with the smaller rear tire. This motorcycle has a 180/55, where pretty much all of the leader class sport bikes are going to check in with a 190/55, and some of them even come with 200s. So just by the sheer nature of the tires that are on the thing, you get a significantly more lively feel to it. So combine the more centralized mass with the smaller tire, and you get a riding experience that is much more playful. It's like the personality of the bike is much less business first, if you will. Let's go ahead and have a little fun with this bike. Set up, trail, drop, maintenance, power, chop, downshift, trail braking, drop in, and there's our favorite stop sign. With this bike, it is so easy to do what I just did. And I've said this quite a few times, the bike does make you feel like you're just a lot better than you really are. And that's part of the fun with this bike. Plus, with the GSXR 750, there are no rider aids, there is no quick shifter, there is none of that going on with this bike. And one of the reasons why I like that is because to me it feels like it's just much more of an engaging experience. Quick shifters are great, don't get me wrong, and they have their place. I prefer that technology on my 1000, mainly because I feel like I'm hammering on my 1000 more. Which brings me up to another point. Look, we all know why we ride these kinds of motorcycles. They're fast, they're fun, they're exciting, but it's not just the speed or the power, it's the noise. You know what I mean? It's how the bike makes you feel. And that to me is really part of the most important aspect of these bikes. How do you feel when you're on the bike? Are you comfortable? Are you comfortable doing sport bike type things? And with the 750, I gotta tell you, this bike is so good, again, at making you feel confident. But with no rider aids, you are actively part of everything that this machine is up to. So, like with a quick shifter, the quick shifter takes the clutch away or the blip away. With this bike, you are the quick shifter. You are the auto blipper. Oh, and this thing just begs you to push it harder, 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 harder. I'll find myself, just as an aside, I'll find myself with this bike in mid-corner grabbing more throttle because there's just less power there. It's not going to push, and the rear end doesn't make it feel like I'm pushing the chassis or myself or my skill set because, again, lack of power. But there really isn't a lack of power. That's the thing. So it's a comparative statement, I suppose. The 750 is so much more fun in a lot of different ways than the 1000 is. And the GSXR 750 is going to be more fun than its other super middleweight counterparts, the ones that have the quick shifter, the ones that have all the technology or whatever that may give you a bit of false confidence. Because let's be real, there's nothing that favors the rider at all with a a bunch of lean sensitive ABS and all of that, if you've overcooked a corner so badly that, look, they're not going to reset or break the laws of physics, right? I don't know. I just feel like those bikes are doing the rider a disservice. It's like taking a test, but having a cheat sheet in a way. The GSXR 750 is just so rewarding, and again, because you are the quick shifter, you are the blipper, you are the ride modes, so to speak. I think it helps to hone the skills of sport bike riding in ways the other bikes just can't. Trail, drop, maintenance. Step out a little bit of the roof end back there. Get it. That was more because of the surface of the road. That had nothing to do with power or anything like that. It's just a just a little jiggle in the road back there. I love the 750. Oh, guys. I have to admit, I don't think I could ever get tired of riding this bike. And that's another thing too, the suspension being more compliant with this machine really does lend itself to being a bit more comfortable, but that's just more of a way the bike that, you know, the way that the bike is set up. But God, what a fun machine. Anyway, guys, I kind of lost my train of thought, as you may possibly imagine at this point. I'm going to get this thing back out on the road and have some more fun with it. I'm having a blast, and I hope you're having fun hanging out with me as I'm riding these bikes. Take care, guys. I'm going to check out.